Hello everyone, my name is Kitsury and I'm back with another episode of Calliope Guides. I have been away for a while and so many things changed in Calliope. Starting with the new improvement graphics and visual updates on most maps, the game gained a new dynamic, but it still remains with the old nostalgic classic mode. We also received new updates such as the champion levels, AFK farming, elemental talisman, general balancing and adjustments to the game economy, and a high number of weekly updates on small features to improve the quality of gameplay. The most recent big update was the guild dungeon, and I can't wait to tell you more about it. Do you remember when I told you about the Red Kingdom back in episode 1? Well, somehow we were successful, and this kingdom is back. More players are joining the Shinso alliances, and bigger guilds are also making some transitions too. You can't create a new character in Shinso from the start, but if you have the ticket to change kingdoms, you can join them. I believe, in a very small future, I will have more news to share about when it's gonna be the next big fight between all kingdoms. Some other things have changed too. In fact, the garden dungeon no longer exists. The tyrant boss has been changed to Mushroom Cave and appears right after you kill the spider mushroom boss. This dungeon became easier than before to allow new players to farm Crystal Soul equipments to complete their PVM set. But don't worry, you now get a special box when you're starting a new character that will automatically give you the starter set. This equipment is not strong as a Crystal Soul set, but it will give you enough bonuses to help acquire what you really need. Do you also remember when I show you where to level up? Well, the Valley of Giants have also changed. We return to the old map, and it takes a little bit longer to level up now, just a few extra minutes. If you are a new player, you can keep the same strategy as in previous episodes. Level up on cities, take tactical pauses, upgrade your equipment and alchemy, find some other useful items, farm dungeons, join in weekly events to get young, and when you get tired of being level 55, you can get level 80 by teleport to Valley of Giants, use all the experience items you can have, and start destroying stones. If you spend more than 1 hour trying to level up on this map, something is wrong with your gear. And if you are an old player and just wanted to check how to level up your account really fast, you can skip all these processes, get the level 1 set with all the experience bonuses and potions, go to Spider's Cave V2, level up directly for level 55, go to Valley of Giants and destroy stones until you reach level 80. You probably knew that, right? The game also received a new major update that changed the gameplay meta across the entire server. With a new way to farm and 2 days event where metin stones fall in the same place, we can now explore new ways to make easy money. This also had a huge impact on the market, and many changes had to be done to find a solution to balance the game economy and not make everyone rich overnight. With more accounts farming more and more items every second, a new item called Jiangxi Talisman has been introduced in the game. It functions as one of many levers to control the prices in general market, increasing or decreasing demand for a specific item that drop in large quantities. He is also needed in many crafts around the game, which gives him a big role from now on. Whether you are a new player starting from scratch or an old one who decided to come back, this episode is gonna be very helpful to you. Despite the first 3 episodes are getting old, they still provide a good introductions on the server. So don't forget to check them out if you have any questions. Let's continue where we ended in episode 3. Right after you reach level 90, upgrade your main abilities to Perfect Master, complete some of your PVM alchemy, and switch 1 or 2 equipment sets, you should be ready to farm most bosses. If you still encounter some difficulties in completing Ganesha dungeon, for example, check out the bonus I'm using on this account and compare it with what you still need to get the same basic damage. Okay, let's say you find Ganesha too hard. What about Dragon God dungeon? By doing this dungeon a few times, you will have enough dragon scales and dragon claws to craft your sash and upgrade to the maximum level. Spend some yang trying to add 3 bonuses and switch until you find 20% strong against something you need. You can also obtain stones plus 5 by doing Letters event, or training some fish with the blacksmith NPC. Add them to your weapon and deal extra damage. And if you really want to feel the difference, you can start to level up your pet even more. While I was recording this episode, the Reborn system received a big update, and with it, some maps got higher experience rates for their monsters. The most affected map was Grotto of Exile V4, which allows you to level up faster as an alternative to Metin stones. But the most important thing is that your pet gains tons of experience now. To simply start, get the character around level 90 with full experience bonus and some strong against demons. Find a place where 3 rooms are close to each other. This way, you can continue cleaning spots without waiting for monsters to respawn, maximizing your time and effort. To compare with the old method, here is a preview of 2 pets at level 60. In the old method, you can get the same amount of experience compared to the Grotto, but it takes longer to destroy a stone than to kill all the monsters in the room. You should be able to level up your pet to level 120 in a few hours. High-level players use this method to make a lot of yang, by having a lot of patience and a lot of resources to level up hundreds of pets. They can get rare pets with 15% monster bonus or sometimes even more. If you are lucky, sell it for a good price. But let me warn you, leveling up pets can become a nightmare very quickly, ending in a burnout of your fun gaming experience. What's really important for you right now is to level up your pet until it reaches at least 10% strong against monsters. This might happen around level 80 to level 100. If not, get another pet and try again. For a simple guide to values, make sure your numbers match the numbers on Calliope wiki page. You can also take advantage of your Buffy item. It comes in your starter chest and you can now upgrade its level by using drops from stones that you might have saved in your inventories. However, creating an extra account by selecting Shaman character, increasing your ability to Perfect Master, and switching a simple set with intelligence bonuses will offer you higher values. And you can also change the color of your buffs. I will leave this matter with you. Whatever you prefer, both are good options. A new feature in recent updates made most bosses more valuable than before. Ganesha boss, for example, gives tons of items that you can sell or use, but the boss himself now gives a lot of young vouchers directly. By spending some of your time doing several different bosses, you'll earn at least 1 B in 1 or 2 hours. There is also another strategy that I personally recommend to players who don't want to wait for dungeons cooldown to end. Since most dungeons have a 15-minute cooldown before they become available again, instead of having just one account for PvM, you create 2 or even 3 identical farmers. By doing this, you can use both accounts at the same time, requires some gymnastic playing it. Or you can use one account at a time and burn off cooldowns while doing some dungeons with the second or third account. All you need to do is to repeat the same process over these last 4 episodes for another account until you have a good army of PvM characters. This is actually super important. I have met so many players who decided to play the game but were always struggling to have enough young or drops to complete PvP or higher PvM items. Most of them didn't like to farm, and that's okay if you have real money to spend. But if you don't, you will need a good PvM foundation to create sustainability to your gameplay. In a few weeks since you start playing from level 1, you will have many objectives completed. If you get tired of the same repeated dungeons available at level 90, or you are curious to explore other maps, you can disable your anti-experience ring and finally level up to level 170. Doing so will give you access to most maps and dungeons in the game, and also allows you to equip your character with higher level equipment for PvM, such as your armor, your element, and your boots. Start leveling up on the Dragon's Head map. It might be painful for a while, especially since level 90 to level 105 it's a bit slower compared to before. All you can do is destroying stones and kill monsters to receive the experience required to each level. Once you reach level 105, you can move to Enchanted Forest and destroying stones on the map. Finally, at level 170, you can activate the experience ring once more and take a break. At this high level, you are able to explore tons of new dungeons, kill a lot of bosses and generate huge quantities of young, either by selling drops or farming directly from bosses or stones. I made a list of the current market stage, with most type of drops and their prices based when I made this video. Try to find the best farm that suits your playstyle and explore alternatives to either farm or resell items to other players for better prices. The last thing I want to talk in this episode is the new ways to farm FK. With the introduction of the event that takes place every Tuesdays and Thursdays, you can spend 24 hours constantly destroying stones and accumulate a lot of Young-Gen items. All you need to do is to buy a special item called Bravery Cape, Eaton Shop. This item allows you to be AFK while attacking the same location. By placing your character near to the stones, they will fall exactly in the same place where you are attacking. With the pet automatically collecting your loot, you can do this with 3 different accounts simultaneously, which means 3 times more profit. I recommend creating 3 new accounts where you only use them for this event. By doing this, you can farm AFK with 3 PVM accounts and at the same time do dungeons with your main droppers. To obtain the Bravery Cape item, you have to buy it in Item Shop. Or buy it from another player for an expensive price. With 3 FK farming accounts, you will replace the Young wasted on this investment in about 3 to 4 weeks. After that, all its profit. There is a lot of content to explore after you reach level 170. In the next episode, I will share with you some other tips for getting better equipment, how to obtain your permanent dues, how to farm on World Boss event, and what are the minimum requirements to be able to profit from the Warzone PvP weekend event. Stay tuned for the next videos on YouTube Shorts, where I will do dungeons and talk about extra tips to develop your character. If you are a new player watching this episode for the first time, there are some referral codes to help you get extra rewards when you create your accounts. Hope it was useful, and I will try to bring new episodes to this series in the future. Participate in the 1000 Calliope coins giveaway for players who subscribe to the channel and send a message to my Discord with hashtag Calliope Guides episode 4. 10 winners will be announced in the next video, so be ready, it might be you. Thank you so much for watching and always smash that like button. I will be back in the next episode of Calliope Guides.